Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. Today I have a very special treat for you. Now at Investor Fuel, our mastermind meetings that we host quarterly, we have a number of different presentation types. Our main presentation type is called a hot seat presentation, where our members present out on what's working in their business. They share some resources for other members, and they talk a lot about where they're having challenges in their business, and then we advise one another, kind of a board of advisors to one another to help each other in our businesses. We also have another presentation type. Now, by the way, those hot seat presentations are behind closed doors, members only. We would never share those to the outside world because they're very private and personal. But we also have something called effectively expert presentations, like keynote style presentations and things like that, that we might periodically share with you. In fact, I want to share one today. So a lot of great information happens at Investor Fuel meeting. So I have a keynote presentation that I want to share with you today. Now, a lot of our keynote presentations are usually done by our members. We have some very sought after speakers that are members of our group, and so we actually have members presenting those quite often. But every once in a while, we bring somebody from the outside that has a lot of value to add, and we think would be a great fit for that meeting. So there's a gentleman named Sean Whalen. If you haven't heard of him, he is an amazing guy. He has an amazing story, and he's really kind of taken the world by storm with sharing his story of just being who you are, being honest with yourself, and a lot of that came through really his experience. So he has an incredible story of doing thousands of deals, becoming a multi-millionaire, and kind of successful by everybody's kind of traditional standards, but then he lost it all. Really, it was kind of a midlife crisis point that I think will resonate with you as an entrepreneur. Now, you may not have been through anything quite that dramatic, but I know you've been through some tough times if you're listening to this show, because you're either an entrepreneur or a real estate investor that has been through some ups and downs, right? So what happens a lot of times, we say we're doing this for our family. We're working so hard for our family. And Sean's story is based off of that as well. The problem is the people that we say we're working so hard for are the last people to get our time and our attention, because we say we're working hard on the business for them, and surely they would rather have more of us than us working more. So it's a great message. There's a lot of great lessons to learn inside of here. Sean is not afraid of the F-bomb, so be prepared for some language. If you have a problem with that, don't listen. But it's a great message. You're going to get a lot of value out of this. Let's go ahead and jump in. I hope you enjoy it. Professional real estate investors know that it's not really about the real estate. In fact, real estate is just a vehicle to freedom. A group of over 100 of the nation's leading real estate investors from across the country meet several times a year at the Investor Fuel Real Estate Mastermind to share ideas on how to strengthen each other's businesses, but also to come together as friends and build more fulfilling lives for all of those around us. On today's show, we're going to continue our conversation of fueling our businesses and fueling our lives. I'm glad you're here. Behind the scenes, there's some stuff going on. There's health problems, there's problems with relationships, things like that. And the truth is we are real estate based here, but at the end of the day, like if your shit's falling apart behind the scenes, that's successful. You're not successful, right? Yeah. So we try to be real here. There's no way possible that I could be as real as my boy Sean Whalen here. So he's going to come up in just a second and share a story with us. Now, if you don't know Sean, he has flipped over 4,000 houses, right? And then he lost it all. And he has a message of, in all that struggle of finding and asking the question, what the hell was this all for? He lost his family, lost his marriage, he lost a lot of things along the way. And sometimes you got to hit rock bottom before you figure out where you go from here, figure out how to live a life with purpose and with meaning, right? So you ready to go, buddy? Guys, stand up. Please help me welcome Mr. Sean.
Hey, where's that laser pointer? I didn't know these were still a thing, man. These still a thing? Just don't point at God. These are still a thing. If you invest here, it's going to go here. Guys, thank you very much. I'm glad to be here. First things first, I want everybody to stand up. Why is that funny, bro? I want you to shake hands with 5 people you don't know and tell them good morning. Go. 5 people you don't know.
Good to see you again.
All right. I didn't say try and sell somebody a house. I have a limited amount of time. Guys, I'm glad to be here. It's funny being in a real estate experience because I did real estate for a long time. How many of you are on social media?
Yeah.
Okay. And now when I ask a question, do me a favor. Like I'm an all-in guy, right? Like I am an intense dude, but I love like life and the whole thing. So it's like if you're gonna be here, get the most out of this, right? So if it's like, yeah, I'm not really sure. Like, how many of you are on social media?
Yeah.
Okay. How many of you use social media for personal reasons? Personal stuff. Like you share stupid pictures of your dogs and your food and crap like that. How many of you are on social media for business and use it to make money for your business? Okay. How many of you use social media to flip properties, invest in real estate? Okay. Cool. Cool. How many of you ever seen any of my social media? A video, a post?
Yes.
Okay. Now, real talk, how many of you have no fucking idea who I am? Sweet, dude. I like this. I like this. This is cool. So, social, it's a trip, man. Like this entire experience, isn't it? I mean, you really think about how fast social media has come into our space. Like, I used to do the old school way of like knocking on doors and actually picking up a phone and calling somebody and saying, like, hey man, I want to do business with you. Can I take your lunch? How many of you still do that? Now it's like we just freaking pop up messages and all this other stuff. So I'm going to share with you a couple different things today. Not only about how I've been able to reach almost 900 million people through my videos and through my messages, how I went from flipping almost 4,000 houses, just under 4,000 houses.
Yeah, round up. This is what we round up.
You round up. The fish was this big, but it's really this big. Like, I made $1 million. No, technically you made $879,000, but we'll call it $1 million. That's kind of the game, isn't it? Who do you follow on social media? Who do you pay attention to in life? Think about that for a second. Like, who are you really motivated by and inspired by? Do you have people that you go to, that you search out, that you look for inspiration? Yes, no? Or do you just aimlessly wander through social media trying to find the next funny video of a fat kid falling off a skateboard? Right? Like this dynamic and this reality that I'm going to share with you today and my story and how I got to this place and why I'm standing up here now is, it's really fascinating because there's millions and millions and millions of people like looking for something. What are we all looking for? Money? There's a fuck ton of money in the marketplace. We can touch it, right? Are there any kids here? No kids? Good. Like there's a ton of money in the marketplace, right? So we don't need more money. Like what are people starving for? What are people looking for?
Truth.
Reality?
Freedom.
Happiness? What is happiness?
Right.
What are we looking for? What do we want? What are we searching for? It's different for everybody. The one thing that I am absolutely certain of is that everybody's looking for something. Like everybody's looking for something. Everybody's trying to find connection. You turn on the news lately, what do you see on the news?
Right.
Like shit. It's not a black and a white thing or a Republican and Democrat thing. People are pissed. Like we're beating the shit out of each other. Why? Why are people so angry? We have tons of money.
Everybody wants something different.
Like, why are we so upset? See, I played by the rules, okay? We've all been programmed the exact same way. All of us have been programmed to lie. Do you believe that? Your parents programmed you to lie.
Yeah.
Your schooling, I don't care where you went to school, whether you went to private school, public school. I want you to think about this for a second. Ever since we were little kids, we have been told to lie. But what our parents say, don't ever lie, tell me the truth, right? But think about this. Back in elementary school, sit down, quiet down, slow down. Don't say anything that's going to offend anybody else in class, right? Are you with me on this? Think back. I know some of you are a little older, a little bit slower, you need a little more coffee when you go in the morning, but really think about when you were a kid. Like, this was our reality, right? I'm 40 years old. We're not all that far apart in age. Like, we were programmed since we were little kids, whether it's through our parents, our religion, our schooling, to just chill the fuck out and do as you're told, right? How many agree with this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sit down. You know, elementary school. What would happen if you were like me and you were a little rambunctious turd? How many of you were rambunctious turds and got in trouble, right? What would happen if you did that at school?
Got in trouble. You get sent home.
Well, they'd call your parents. So you get in trouble at school, and then if you're like me, you get home, and then your dad would whip your ass too. So I'm like, shit, man, I can't get in trouble anywhere. I just better shut up and do as I'm told. You understand this? If you're religious, you go to church like you're going to go to hell. This is bad. Don't do this. And this entire psychological programming we've had since we were little kids, we do as we're told. You go through elementary school, middle school, high school, it's the same thing. Sit down, quiet down, slow down. Don't say anything that's going to offend anybody, right? Now here's the insanity. You get to high school, they add another level to this insanity. And the insanity is this, okay? What you're going to do now is you're going to leave this school and you're going to go to another school and you're going to study for a couple years. You're going to go broke, you're going to go upside down, you're going to take on a shit ton of debt for a degree that you can hang on your wall prestigiously and frame it. Maybe by the time you're 40, you know what the average age is of Americans paying off student debt today, by the way? 41.
Wow.
41. In fact, look it up. Think about that shit. That's fucking nuts. That's insane. But what do? We did it. We played the game, right? And you're gonna find a cute little girl. Sorry about it.
Watch it, John.
Really sorry.
You asked if there was kids, you didn't say assess my age.
Over here. Hey, I just fly by the seat of my pants. I'm Sean, by the way. Sarah, good to meet you. You're gonna find a pretty girl. You're gonna settle down. You're gonna get married. You're gonna bang out a couple of kids. You work at this job. Maybe at some point in time you get a gold watch. You can retire, and then you can actually enjoy life. Use your 401k or IRA, and then die. Right? This is the American dream. Like, this is how we have been programmed. We've been told what this box looks like. This box of normal. The normal box. What happens if you're like, I don't like that. I'm going to quit my job and start a business. What happens? Your family's like, shit, we need to do an intervention. John's having a meltdown. He's going to quit his great job making $77,000 a year.
Yeah.
Bro, you only have 16 more years until you can retire with benefits. How many of you have heard this shit?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's a racket. But the crazy thing is, it's still going. I have 3 kids. How many of you have kids? You understand that every single one of your kids, I don't care if it's private school, public school, they're all being taught the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Like, we're perpetuating insanity. Do you want to know why people are so fucking mad? Do you want to know why people are going insane? Do you want to know why we're beating the shit out of each other? Do you want to know why we're at war with each other? People are pissed. They're pissed. And if they're all like me, when you're like a multi-millionaire, by the time you're 25, I was a little bit like, I was kind of on the upper echelon of the success chart. Because the way we're programmed, right, if you're going to have this job and you'll be able to afford like a minivan, and if you work really hard, then maybe you can buy like an Escalade. I was the Escalade guy. I worked really fucking hard and built the business and turned 30 and had the watches and had the houses and had the cars and vacation wherever we went, whenever we want. I was fucking miserable. I was angry. I wasn't sure what I was angry at though. I go work 20-hour days, building this empire, building this deal, doing deals. Single parent home. Multi-millionaire by 25. By all intents and purposes, I was so far ahead of everybody else inside of this box, and I was freaking dying inside. How you doing? I'm good, man. Inside, I'm like, dude, I fucking hate my life. How many of you have ever felt this way? Real talk. I know it's early in the morning, but don't bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, real talk. How many of you have just woken up and went, what am I doing? Like, is this it? Like, is this it? Great, we go to Disneyland once a year. Ha ha ha, we eat at the same fucking restaurants, we do the same dumb shit. I mean, my dog pisses in the same corner, my kids cry about the same crap. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, we've been programmed, friends, since we were little kids. Like what normal looks like. And I'd have you consider for a second that there's a lot of people right now on this planet, probably many of you in this room, that are pissed as shit. That are frustrated, that are upset because like you want to speak, you want to do, you want to grow, you want to build, you want to expand, you want to do what the fuck you want to do, but you can't, or you don't. Why? Because it's not normal. It's not normal. I played this game. I started a real estate investment company. It started in mortgages. How many of you have done mortgages in the mortgage game? Back in like the early 2000s, you could be like half retarded, not politically correct, so, you know, whatever. And you could make money in mortgages, and I made a shit ton of money in mortgages, right? Like, I was the guy who was going out and doing things differently, building, growing, expanding. I had a laser pointer, which was really funny. I literally think the last time I used a laser pointer was like in the early 2000s. Building a huge mortgage business. No, I'm not knocking it, bro. It works for you, great. I built a huge mortgage company. I got fired from a real job. I worked for the Marriott Hotel, believe it or not. I wanted to be in hospitality because I like people. I like talking to people. I like working with people. I got fired from a job because I was actually like really, really, really good at what I did. I was a sales manager, and my boss didn't like the fact that I was killing everybody and crushing it. She ended up firing me. From that point on, I never looked back. And I started in the mortgage game and made a ton of money in the mortgages. And then I got into real estate and I started buying properties. I started doing investing and I started doing big development deals. In my early 20s, like a lot of success at a really, really, really young age. My parents split up, so I really didn't have dad to call. I didn't really have any coaches or mentors to look at. Why? Why don't most of you have coaches or mentors? Actually, let me rephrase that. Why don't most people have coaches or mentors?
Yeah.
Because they're too fucking prideful.
Right.
Right? Because what is alpha? I'll solve it myself. Put your big boy pants on. I did that and I burned through millions of fucking dollars. Hindsight's 2020, right? So I parlay and I put all my money into development. And what happened in 2008? If you were in the development game, you got your ass kicked. Period. Millionaires, billionaires broke in a matter of 12 months. Done and done. The fascinating thing was, I saw an opportunity. How many of you got in the REO game back then and started like looking at deals and properties? It was like friggin' shooting fish in a barrel, right? You've been in the mortgage game, like, well, shit. I don't know what half those mortgages that like are causing this thing right now. We didn't know. We didn't care. Countrywide Mama was coming in and saying, we'll give you 4 points on the back end of the loan. I'm like, are you kidding me? That's like $20,000. At 23 years old, that's pretty fun, isn't it? Yeah. Making $100,000 a month. So I saw a huge opportunity, and I was also getting my ass handed to me. And how many of you read my book? Well, it's actually sitting around my house. I talk about in my book how I felt like I was juggling bowling balls. Okay? Like, one day, I went into a bankruptcy hearing because my development company was getting its ass kicked, and I fought for so long to hang on to it. My lawyers were like, dude, great job, but you know, this is not a Nordstrom's card that you're trying to charge off here. You have like tens of millions of dollars that you have put into this game, and you're not going to be able to get out of this. So I ended up having to go through bankruptcy. You ever been through bankruptcy? Yeah, go ahead. Hey, there's no shame in that, bro. That's why I'm so damn smart today, because I went through it, you know? I went through this experience where I went through a bankruptcy hearing one morning, and a couple hours later, I was being featured and having a photo shoot for being a 30 under 30 entrepreneur, because we were flipping all of these houses and crushing it. On the other hand, I was getting my ass kicked. I talk about in my book, juggling bowling balls. I felt like I was juggling bowling balls. And I related this not only to this experience in my life, but how life really is. Like when you're at work, you feel like you need to be at home, right? How many of you understand this, fellas? Mm-hmm. You're working and like she's like, hey, when are you coming home? And you're like, I'm trying to do the deal, man. But then when you're at home, what are we doing?
Doing the deal.
We're connected to I talk about being connected on my BlackBerry. I'm dating some people. I think you're too young to have BlackBerry. I mean, we're at Disneyland. I'm like, honey, like we're at Disneyland. Why are we having fun? I'm connected to my BlackBerry because I'm trying to do the deal. I'm trying to make the cheddar. I'm trying to flip the houses, build the empire. And there's this insanity that goes on in a man's brain of like, I have to be home, but then I have to be at the office. When I'm at the office, I've got to be at home. It's like juggling bowling balls. So I'm going through this experience where I'm losing millions on one hand and I'm making millions on the other. I'm trying desperately to hide the fact that I'm getting my ass kicked. Sticking your head up your ass for 2 years, that's what I did. Why? I ask myself that question, and people ask me all the time, like, Sean, what happened? You had money, you had everything going, like, sure you were losing some over here, but you're making a bunch over here. And then I went into what I like to call my wilderness, which is essentially me drinking myself to oblivion and trying to figure out why the hell I'm even alive for 2 years. I mean, we're working hard, right? I mean, isn't this the game that we're all playing? Trying to build these empires, find the respect, find the admiration of our friends and our colleagues and our peers. Isn't that like why we're doing what we're doing? That's what we were taught what success looked like. And I spent 18 months trying to figure out why the hell I was even here. I literally had 171 employees. We were flipping 50 to 75 houses a week all over the country. And I literally went in one morning, called my lawyer, and I said, I'm out. I said, draft up a document. He drafted up a one-page document. And I met for breakfast my minority partner, and I turned the entire company over to him. And I walked out. I never cleared my office out. I just left. I left a 10-year marriage. There was no separation. I'm just like, we're done. There was no cheating, no drugs. I just mentally, emotionally, psychologically checked out. What's really fascinating is I travel and as I speak and as I coach and my company continues to grow and I'm meeting with CEOs and entrepreneurs and business owners, there's a lot of people that feel this way. There's a lot of people that are just fucking numb. There's a lot of people that don't feel anything. There's a lot of people that are like sitting back going, is this what this is all about? Like this life game, this life thing? Why I'm here, why I'm working, why I'm grinding, why I'm hustling? In the midst of all this, in the midst of this divorce that I went through, I got really angry. Like super angry. How many of you have ever been angry? How many of you have ever just been like so angry but you don't even know what you're angry at?
Yeah.
You're just fucking pissed.
Yeah.
It's insanity, but at the same time it's normal. But see, I was in a place in my life where I didn't talk to people. Why? We don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We don't do that. They do it fine. Women, it's the same for you, ladies. Same for you. We don't talk about our stuff. We don't share our things. We don't share our feelings. It's not cool. This might make somebody else uncomfortable. Remember how we were raised? Shut the fuck up and do what you're told. If I tell you I'm having suicidal thoughts, oh shit. Hey man, there's a hotline, you should call it. I gotta run. That's the world we're playing in. That's the life that we're living right now. I went through this divorce and I was insanely angry. I was so angry. And I was really bitter. And what do hurt people do? They hurt people. Hurt people, hurt people. Hurt people, hurt people. I was like desperately like trying to get at my wife, and get at the market, get at my partners and people, and I was just fucking pissed. But I didn't know what I was mad at. Well, My ex-wife is living in our 9,000 square foot house. I moved into a little shitty 2-bedroom condo. Because that's what you do in your divorce, right? She's dating a guy who's 11 years younger. Remember, I'm still angry. How'd that work out for me?
Oh, yeah.
He didn't have a job at the time. She would drive across town in her Escalade, pick him up, drive back to our 9,000 square foot house, and they'd hang out, watch movies and the whole thing. My kids living in there. The entire deal. Like, I've got story after story, experience after experience, like to share with you, like with this depth of insanity. Talk about pushing the man to like the breaking point. The reality is, it boils down to like me getting pissed, me needing to reach that breaking point. One night, after feeling that weight, like stepping back and going, I think I might have fucked up. Why did I burn all this to the ground? And why did I walk away from all this? Maybe it's wrong. Maybe like not having the answers is how you're supposed to live. Maybe I'm supposed to just continue to do as I'm told. Maybe like I should just carry on with this way of being and that would keep me happy. One night I picked up the phone and I called my ex-wife. I said, I need to talk to you. She's like, I don't want to talk to you right now. I was like, no, you don't understand. Like, it's a heavy night. Like, mind you, I'm in this mode of like insanity where like I don't care if I live or if I die. And I'm still flipping some houses. I'm still making some money because it's easy. The game of Monopoly is easy. But I'm miserable as shit. I'm like, we just need to talk. She said, I don't want to talk to you. And I hear in the background, is that Sean? I'm like, sweet Jesus. I don't want to murder anybody tonight, so tell that fucking kid to shut up. I said, is that Sean? I'm like, look, I'm struggling. Like, I didn't know which way was up, which way was down, which way was forward, which way was backwards. It's really not too different than like when you turn the TV on today and people don't know what the fuck they're doing, what they're saying. They have no like moral foundation or standing. People are just confused. People are bounced around. In the scriptures, it talks about being tossed to and fro with every wind of doctrine, right? Like that's where I was. Like I don't know what's up and what's down. I did what I was told. Why do I hate my life? Like why did I burn this thing to the ground? I don't know. Why am I mad at this guy? I don't know. Why am I mad at that guy? I don't know. She ended up hanging up the phone. That night, I drank myself to oblivion. That night, I put a Ruger P95 in my mouth. And I spent an entire night trying to decide why I should or shouldn't kill myself. And the things that were going through my mind were, dude, if you kill yourself, like your kids are young enough that she'll actually marry someone normal that has a 9-to-5. Like, you made millions, Sean, but like, look at what you did. You burned a whole business to the ground. You lost millions too. And I'm wrestling with myself thinking like if I blow my brains out right now, she'll marry somebody normal, my kids will have a normal fucking life. Paycheck every 2 weeks, 401k, security. Security. And the other side of my brain's like, you can't do that, dude. You can't do that, that's what cowards do. Cowards check out. Kind of coward. So I can't explain God to you. I'm not here to talk about God. But I will tell you that I believe in God. Because I've seen 3 babies come out of a woman's vagina. And that doesn't happen by rocks just colliding in the cosmos. So I personally believe in God. I believe in something way bigger. I can't prove it to you. I can't prove to you that he exists. You can't prove that he doesn't. But I believe in God. We'll just leave it at that. Somehow, some way, God allowed me to make it through that night. And I woke up the next morning with this pistol next to my head and a bottle of whiskey on the floor. And I did for the first time something that I had not done in my entire life. I reached out for help. I didn't have an addiction problem. It wasn't like drinking sauce all day long. I didn't know how to not be angry. I didn't know how to not be angry. I was pissed. I didn't know how to solve these problems. Like, I was mad at everybody. I blamed everybody. You turn on the TV, what do you see today?
Blame.
Blame. Everybody's at fault. It's not my fault I'm poor. It's your fault because you're rich. Like, yeah, I'm fat, but it's because, I don't know. Well, it's because you eat at McDonald's every fucking day. That's why. Take some accountability. I took no accountability. I blamed everybody for everything. And I reached out for help. I don't know how to not be angry. I don't know how to navigate through this. So the alpha male, the guy who had built the businesses, the guy who never really asked for help, like finally reaches this point where he's like, dude, I don't know how to make it past this. And I spent a year on a journey trying to figure out why I was even alive. I spent a year trying to figure out like why I was here. The money game was easy, the real estate game was easy. It's easy to flip houses and make money. It's not hard. I used to joke with people like, what do you do? I'm like, I play Monopoly for a living. Because I really did. That's what I did. I was really fucking good at it. Still really good at it. I didn't know why I was here. Because I did everything I was told to do, and it did make me happy. How many of you understand what I'm talking about right now? How many of you played the game that you were taught to play? And think to yourself, inside, there's got to be something bigger than this. Real talk. How many of you think that? The crazy thing is, no one talks about it. Crazy thing is, if you decide to go do something different, leave your job, start your business, whatever, you're fucking nuts. And you're pushed right back into the box by the people closest to you.
Yeah.
By the people like that are supposed to be there for you, like push you along life. Why? Because they're living in the box. And so I ended up doing something that was really difficult for me. I reached out for help and I hired a coach. How many of you have coaches? I know you're here in Mastermind, but how many of you have a coach? Good. If you don't, hire a fucking coach. I'm not here to pitch coaching or whatever, but hire a coach. And the reason that this became so powerful for me and such a turning point for me is because I had always taken the easy route. I'd always taken the easy route. Yeah, it's difficult to flip, and you got contractors that you want to kick in the teeth sometimes, whatever. You know, that's all part of the game. But like, the path of least resistance is the path that we take. And when it's easy to blame somebody, when it's easy to find somebody else at fault for why you are where you are, it's easy to go that route, right? Instead of taking accountability and saying, oh, I screwed some things up. And when I hired this coach, the very first thing that he had me do was write my ex-wife a letter of appreciation. Yeah, it's exactly what I said, like,
Yeah, right.
sure, buddy. Yeah, I just paid you 15 G's for that. Fuck off. I'm like, give me something else. I was like, I'll run naked through the streets. I will climb a mountain. I'm not writing her a letter. And he's like, you're gonna write her a letter. And I'm like, fuck you. And I spent 3 months.
God.
3 months trying to write her a letter of appreciation because I truly wanted her to get hit by a bus. Like if I got that call, like, yeah, she choked on her food and died last night, like, yes, give me the case, we're out. Like some serious shit, some serious anger, some serious resentment. And as I moved past a lot of this and worked through a lot of this, I realized like I had a lot of resentment towards like how I was raised and how I was programmed. Like we're bitter, we're upset, we're frustrated by this shit. Because a lot of us are playing by the game. We're playing by the rules, and it's not making us very happy. It took me 3 months to even write her this letter. And I will tell you, the letter that I wrote her, I probably didn't mean anything that I wrote in it. Fuck you. You're a great mom. I hope you die. But you're a great mom. Okay, great again, bye. And for 14 months, I went on a journey. And instead of being a dick, instead of being angry, I said positive words. And I shared positive messages, and I wrote her letters and sent text messages instead of being the angry asshole that I was. I just started being positive. It was difficult. And what's fascinating to me is when I hired my coach and I went down this path, it wasn't like, hey, dude, I need to make more money. I want to scale my business. It was like the internal stuff. It was looking inside, which is where most people don't look. Why? It's easy to just look outside. It's easy to go outside and put Band-Aids on gushing wounds through money and success and cars and watches and accolades. That was my entire upbringing. That's how I was. I was super successful. I wrote these letters. Yeah, our divorce was really bad. Like, we had to pick up and drop off our kids from a police station for like 6 months. Divorce sucks, man. Especially when you're a private piece of shit like I was. Like, we'd pull in and there'd be a car in the middle, like shit on one side, everything on the other. My kids had to get out and walk around and get in the other car. It was nuts, man. The amount of anger, the amount of insanity. I had restraining orders against her, she had restraining orders against me. You ever just been really fucking pissed off and done some dumb shit? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yeah. How many of you made mistakes before? How many of you made a lot of mistakes? What's fascinating is I want to talk to you like, dude, I'm scared of screwing up. I'm like, no, you're not. Because you're an expert at it. Like, you're an expert at fucking things up. I'm an expert at fucking things up. We're not afraid to screw some things up. What are we afraid of? We're afraid of getting judged by everybody around us. That's what holds us back. Fast forward about a year. We get to a place where we're actually civil, like talking. We don't need lawyers to talk to us and the whole thing. And I was actually going to the house to pick up the kids, and she was coming to my house to pick up the kids. And in the midst of all of this, she married the guy. He got a kid, he was 11 years younger, who did get a job. He got a job. He graduated with a degree in international business, because that's what successful people do, is get a really, really ambiguous, expensive degree, and then they get $150,000 a year jobs, right? They now own an ice cream store, believe it or not. I mean, insanity of this entire racket, right? They end up getting married and they have a kid. You add all this together, and it's this test. It's a test. Who was the test for? How many have been tested? Mm-hmm. We have one of two options. You pass the buck to somebody else, blame everything and everybody else, or you can own it. I started owning my shit, which is really scary, very vulnerable, right? But one day, I go to pick up my kids, and they had just had a new baby. Like, just that mentality, that idea to me, and the entire thing was crazy. I pull up in front of my ex's house, and our deal was I'd send a text and I'd honk the horn, and kids would come out. Today, I send a text and honk the horns, and the door opens, and my son comes out to the door, and he's like, Dad, come see the baby. And I'm like, no! Get in the car! Get your brother and sister, get in the car! This kid, he scurries off. And a couple seconds later, my daughter, God bless her, comes to the door. Dad, come see the baby. Get in the car. We're going. Let's go. Next thing you know, my ex-wife pops up. It's okay. I'm like, all right, fuck. I don't want to do this. This is not comfortable for me. I don't want to be in that house. I don't want to see this woman right now. I end up getting out of my car, like sweating to death. Like, pleasantries, hey, walk through, sit in the living room. My kids run over, grab the baby. Your dad, hold the baby. I'm like, oh, this is heavy. What do I do? So I'm holding the baby. And it was a really cool experience. Like years of the most insane anger, frustration, pain, anger, contemplation of suicide. To be sitting here now in the living room holding this baby was like something that I can't even describe. So I snapped a little picture, snapped a selfie. At the time I had a couple hundred friends on Facebook, used Facebook like everybody else, to just watch the videos of, whatever it is that we watch videos of. And we went home that night, and as my kids were getting ready for bed, I did this Facebook post, and I shared that picture. And for the first time, and as long as I could remember, I did something that I had never really been willing to do before. I told the truth. Like I smashed out on this public domain site where all these people are going to see this like the truth, or I was angry. I was kind of a dick. I said a lot of really mean, hateful things. I didn't have any answers. Like, there was no light. It was pure darkness in my life. And this picture, no one will have any idea how much this picture means to me. When I went to bed, I just hit send, posted it. It was scary as shit. It's scary. It's scary to tell the truth, isn't it? It's scary to talk about what we really want, what we really feel, how we really feel. We don't do it. Which is why 51% of all marriages are ending in divorce. Yeah. It's not because of money and sex. Yeah. It's because we're fucking liars. We don't know how to talk about the truth. To anybody. Ever. We lie. And I woke up the next morning, picked up my phone, and that picture had 1K next to it. I'm like 1K likes. What the hell does that mean? And every hour for the next 2 weeks, that post had over 1,000 likes, and then 10,000 likes, and then 100,000, and went on to go viral. I don't know what viral really means, but this post reached hundreds of millions of people, like all over the world. Hundreds of thousands of comments on this one post. My inbox started getting flooded with people going, "Oh my God, you figured it out. Teach me how." I'm like, "Pump brakes, son." I'm in the middle of all this, working through this shit myself. And what was really fascinating is I went from having a few people to having 50,000 followers inside of 30 days. They were all looking at me like, "Dude, you have these answers and these solutions." I'm like, "No, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I'm not Dr. Phil. I don't have this shit figured out. All I did was share with you my truth." And I found something in this. I found that people are starving for truth. People didn't engage with this post and thousands and thousands and thousands of likes and hundreds of thousands of comments because it was a great picture. It was fucking real. It was real. And there was blowback from it. There were a lot of my ex-wife's friends who were like, "Yeah, he was a dick." Yep, I can attest to the fact that he was angry. I was there when he said some dumb shit. What is vulnerability? Think about that word. Most people think vulnerability is like something scary. Vulnerability is like the ultimate superpower. Vulnerability is the ultimate superpower. You ever seen somebody that's like deathly afraid of public speaking? They have to like give a presentation at work or at church or something, and they're like freaking out, like, "I'm gonna die. Like, I will literally die up here. If I have to do this, I'm going to die." You understand what I'm saying? And they're like sweating and they're dying, they're like, and it's like crazy and it might not be the best, but they get up there and like, "Holy shit, I'm gonna die," and all of a sudden they get off the stage and what happens?
Feel great.
Oh, I blacked out. I don't know what I said, but I feel amazing. I felt great. Like, that's that euphoric reality. That's that dopamine coming out because it's true. It's pushing you into something that's not comfortable. Vulnerability is the ultimate superpower. For the first time I was vulnerable in sharing this post. And what I have found over the last 4 years in sharing thousands of posts and telling my truth and literally having almost 1 billion people watch my videos and millions of people engage is that my mess became my message. All of the shit that I had been hiding, all of the things that I had been like recluse about, putting into this locked box inside because I couldn't talk about it because it wasn't socially acceptable, because you can't talk about that shit. I started talking about it. And 2 things happened. Number 1, I felt better. How many of you would like to feel better?
Yeah.
I'm not saying you're sick, you're both. How many of you want to feel fucking better? You don't want to feel better? You do or don't? Why don't you raise your hand? You're too cool, that's right. Raise your hand. Like, I felt better. Think this through for a second. Like, we're dealing with an obese culture, a heavily medicated culture. Little kids, they get outside of the box and we pump pills down their throat to get them to shut the fuck up. We're doing that as adults. We're popping Xanax like they're Skittles to sedate from reality because we can't talk about who we really are, what we really want, how we really feel, because he might judge me, or he might get upset, or Aunt Lisa might not come for Thanksgiving. So what do? We just keep playing small, and playing small, and playing small. And all the while, who's the one hurting the most?
Yeah.
Us. Number 1, I learned that I felt better as I started sharing me and sharing my truth and sharing my reality. Number 2, I found that there's a massive marketplace starving for this. Starving for truth. I've done more real estate deals and done more deals based off of my own personal story than I ever did hiring some fucking drone photographer to give me the best footage. I want you to think about that for a second. Like the rules, the way that we've been programmed. What if it's wrong? What if the normal is getting outside of the box? What if the normal is talking about who you are, what you love, what you like, and not giving a fuck who likes it or not? If Aunt Lisa doesn't come to dinner because you like Trump, so be it. What do? Play small. Why? Trying to appease other people? You know how many clients I have that say, Sean, I can't. I got a business. If I share who I am, I can't talk politics. I can't talk about politics because I might lose clients. How many of you have said this before? How many of you legitimately have said this or heard other people say this? Like everybody. I can't share what I want to share. I can't be who I want to be. I can't say what I want to say because I have business, clients. You know, one of the stupidest things that you can do is try and sell everybody. One of the dumbest fucking things that you can do as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, is try and appease everybody. I did a post the other day. How many of you follow me on Facebook? I did a post and it rustled ruffles and feathers.
I banned you.
Surprise, surprise. But this lady was talking about how she doesn't have any money to invest in any coaching or any type of skill sets. But when she does, then she will invest to get the skill sets. I'm like, you understand this is backwards, correct?
Yes.
You understand until you change your mindset, you learn the skill sets, the money's not going to follow suit. That's a broke mentality. People went batshit crazy. How dare you publicly shame this woman? I'm like, tell me how I'm wrong. Okay, it's truth. And the truth offends a lot of people. What's really interesting about this is over 2,000 people unfollowed me in literally like a matter of an hour. You want to know what I was doing the entire time? Good. See ya. Those are 2,000 people that never would have done business with me. Those are 2,000 people that don't think the way that I think. Those are 2,000 people that aren't after the same objective that I'm after, which is success, which is growth, which is life. Those are 2,000 people that are fucking butt sore by truth. And guess how many fucks I gave? 0. All these people are like, oh dude, I need to purge. I'm gonna purge my social media. I'm gonna purge my Facebook. Do you know how fucking dumb that sounds? You're gonna sit on the shitter and go, I don't like him. I don't like him. Block, delete, block, delete. You know how dumb that is? Why not just speak your truth and allow the people that don't want to be in your space to leave? Why not speak your truth and allow the people that want to do business with you to come into your space? Who do you do business with? How's the question?
People you like, trust, respect.
People that you like,
Trust.
people that you trust, people that you respect. What did you just say, sir?
People like you.
People like you. Would you agree with that? Would you agree with that? Yes or no?
Yeah.
You do business with people that are like you. You do people that you like, respect, and trust. Think about this for a second. Yeah, what are we doing with our social media game? What are we doing with our life, period? We're trying to appease everybody. I'm here to tell you that if you want to grow your business, I'm here to tell you that if you want to expand your business, tell the fucking truth. Period. Tell the truth. Because the more I get to know you, the more I want to do business with you. The more I get to know you, the more I want to do business with you. The more I get to know you, the more I want to do business with you. The beauty is, along the way, you feel better. Because you're not overthinking and rethinking and hyperthinking about, shit, I can't say this and I can't. And then I end up saying what? Nothing. And closed mouths don't get
Fed.
fed. I want you to contemplate this for a second. What if, rhetorical question, what if the single greatest tool to your expansion in 2019 isn't your fancy Wizmo Gizmo website, your auto drip responder, Google, Boogle, Boogle, whatever, that everybody's out here pedaling and pushing? I'm not sure if you're pedaling, whatever. Whatever sell me buy.
Let's serve your picture.
What if the ticket to your liberation, not only internally, mentally, psychologically, emotionally, what if the ticket to that liberation is your truth? For you. Do you sell more when you feel better or worse?
Yeah. Better.
Better. Are you a better father or mother when you feel better or worse?
Better.
And yet what's fascinating, we turn the TV on and everybody's angry. Everybody's fighting. Everybody's fucking pissed about something, blaming someone for something. Why? We just don't like hearing truth. We've been programmed to be offended by things that we don't like. We've been programmed to lie. And our entire culture is buying into this shit. Don't believe me? Look at the stats. Are we fatter or skinnier? Are we healthier or more unhealthy? Are prescription drugs going up or down? Is divorce going up or down? Fathom for a second, my friends. Think your mess is your message. People are going to judge you either way. Newsflash. Newsflash. I hate to break it to you. If you're fat, it's because you're a lazy piece of crap. If you're ripped, it's because you take steroids. Because you're on drugs. If you're poor, it's because you're undisciplined and uneducated. If you're rich, you're a snake oil salesman. You must be ripping people off. No matter where we go, no matter what we do, we will be judged. No matter what I post, someone is going to judge me. Thousands of people will leave and unfollow me. Good! You're not my tribe anyways. Fathom for a second just moving forward and moving forward and moving forward and moving forward in life. Sharing who you really are. What you really love. What you really like. Why do we follow people? Facebook looks better than our Facebook. They all look the same. They all have that same blue hue color and the same profile picture box. You don't buy, and people don't buy from you because your website's fucking fancy. They either know you or they don't know you. And I'd have you consider for a second that I don't say what I say on social media to be polarizing. I say it because it's my truth. It's how I feel. How many of you think, some of those of you that do know who I am, think that what I say is polarizing? Yeah? It's truth. It's truth. And what is truth doing to our marketplace right now? What's happening in our marketplace? Crazy Uncle Larry's in the White House speaking all kinds of crazy truth, and people are like, what the fuck's happening? What's going on? You know how many fucks he gives? Not 0. What's happening? People are starting to wake up. True or false that you can smell bullshit from a mile away?
Yeah.
True or false? If you can, then guess what? So can all of your followers. If you can, so is everybody in town where you live and trying to hustle deals. So why not give them you? You accomplish 2 things. You feel better, and you make more money. It sounds really simple, isn't it? It sounds like there's got to be something more to it. I can tell you that I built a multi-million-dollar business over the last 4 years, simply by sharing my truth. My website, it's not fancy. Shit, my ClickFunnels, how many of you use ClickFunnels?
Yeah.
It's great. It's like the most basic stuff ever. I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on web programming designers in my real estate company. Why? People are starving for truth, and I'd have you consider and be here today that your mess is actually your message. The thing that's connecting you to the marketplace, the thing that people are looking for, wanting so desperately to find, is truth. And when you can talk about addiction, when you can talk about all of the things going on in your world, guess what we're all dealing with? Every single one of us: sex, money, politics, religion, depression, divorce, bankruptcy, all of this. We deal with all of this every single day. But we talk about what? Nothing. What would it look like if you became the person who just talked about what you wanted to talk about? What would it look like if instead of playing the game that we programmed in place as we were kids, you legitimately just continue to share who you are? What would it look like for you as an individual if you started to really understand that your mess is actually your message? I have literally made millions of dollars by talking about putting a gun in my mouth. Every single person has told me, you can't do that. You can't share that, Sean. It's going to offend people. Good. Let them leave. And let the people that vibe with it come. That's my tribe. Those are my people. And have you consider, if you leave here, you've got 2 options. You can keep playing small. You can keep running the racket. You You can keep playing by everybody else's rules. You can keep playing by how you were programmed as a little kid. Sit down, quiet down, shut the fuck up, and don't say anything. Stay inside this box. Or you say, fuck it. I'm gonna do what I wanna do. I'm gonna say what I wanna say. Watch what happens. Watch what happens. As soon as you realize that your mess is actually your message, it's 100% liberation from there. Friends, thank you very much.
Are you an active real estate investor? If so, and you want to latch on to the power of surrounding yourself with over 100 of the nation's leading real estate investors, all committed to building stronger businesses and living richer, fuller lives, you should jump on a call with us to learn more about Investor Fuel. Simply visit investorfuel.com to get started.